Moving to the DS, I know we just touched on a little bit, but the Guardians and Tigers, that Kerry Carpenter home run
was very fun.
That just absolutely deflated that whole stadium.
Oh yeah,
dude, huge.
That was crazy.
Well,
and then
that's still like you have to remember that is the smallest ballpark in baseball. So if you do something like there's not enough fans to like try to keep the energy up, it dies.
Well, I mean, going up against, I don't even think it's a question, the best closer in baseball the past couple of years.
Easily, yeah.
Going to a 2-strike count with runners on first and third, if I'm not mistaken, 2 outs. I mean, first of all, who doesn't want to hit a home run in that situation? Like, that's what we all do in like the backyard with wiffle ball.
Yeah.
But being able to do that, like, are you kidding me? In a postseason when nobody knows who you are, literally, I mean, you can't even name half the Tigers team.
That's what I'm saying. They're making
like,
McDonald's salaries right now.
It is crazy. And then it was fun. I saw his post game interview. He's like, "Yeah, I blacked out around first." He's like,
I would have too.
Like, I don't even know what happened.
But I wouldn't have made it out of the batter's box.
Yeah, honestly, I would have just fainted right there.
I was like,
stop.
that is so cool. I mean, like, I don't think I'd fully finished earlier. Their top 5 players, it was Javi Baez, Andrew Chafin, Jack Flaherty, and then there's 2 other ones I can't think off the top of my head, but they're their top paid players, and they're not even playing for the Tigers right now.
Roster.
No.
Like, I don't even think they could come in tomorrow.
No, they can't.
Yeah,
like,
they're not even on
because
roster.
Flaherty was traded. I think Chafin was cut.
They're eating Baez.
Like it is crazy. I mean, it just, honestly, for me, it just kind of goes to show you how much of a team sport baseball really is. Because you look at a team like
how much a farm is.
Yeah.
Well, and how random it can be. Like, as much as a team sport,
if a team gets hot.
You can have one guy just walk into the batter's box and just change the game on one swing. That's how quick baseball can be. And that's literally what that game was.
Yeah, like, I know they didn't win, but when the Brewers, Jake Bauer hit a pinch hit home run.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Who knows? I mean, I know Jake Bauer because he played on the Mariners, but if you're a baseball fan, you don't know who Jake Bauer is.
It's not a well-known
like, he's just
name.
I mean, he was supposed to be good with the Guardians, but then didn't turn out to be. But anyways, like, super weird, but comes in and hit a pinch hit home run, and then same thing with like Kerry Carpenter. I mean, but a 3-run home run off Class A.
Yeah, that's
like,
a huge.
That
doesn't happen.
That's just, I mean, that's the kind of stuff you want to see in postseason.
Yeah, 100%.
You want to see Giants fall.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. But other than that, I think it's tied 1-1 still. What have you guys seen from that series, and kind of what do you
Tigers
think moving
one
forward?
The Tigers still?
Yes, Tigers and Guardians.
Go ahead.
That one, it's honestly, it's gonna go 5. I think. I think it's gonna go all the way, and it's gonna go back and forth. These Tigers are hot, man.
They're so interesting.
They're very hot, but at the same time, the Guardians are a good ball club as well.
Yeah.
So I could see them, shutting the door and kind of putting the lights out. Or if they carry on, I don't care if the Yankees or Royals who wins this DS. The Tigers could catch fire.
Well, they could be last year's Diamondbacks. I mean, no one saw that happening.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Diamondbacks did have a little bit more talent, in my opinion, with Corbin Carroll when he was still good last year, and then Zach Gallen.
Well, I don't think Zach thought Zach would be that good last year.
Well, there's some players on this Tigers roster that they think should be or could be bigger than that. They believe that Carpenter and Vientos, or not Vientos, that's the Met. The other guy, Vierling. Vierling, and
I think Meadows.
And there's another one
in center field.
Meadows is a beast. His brother was the Ray that they then traded there. Austin Meadows, very similar players. But there's a lot of very high ceilings on this team. And
I think is that
Riley Green. Yeah, that's another one.
There's another
one. But my
on
point,
this team right now.
And Torkelson.
Yes, Spencer Torkelson. Yeah,
supposed to be, and he's still meh. Yeah, I think
so
he's
like
supposed to be good.
It's just like the Orioles in the sense it's a lot of young guys and they're all trying to find themselves and it's all just clicking at the same time. I hate AJ Hinch for what he allowed with the Astros.
Yes,
but
please
to go in
more
to knock them
Astros
out,
hate.
And I mean, for anybody to do it, let him be him. I mean, screw it. You know what I mean?
The thing that I love about it too is, yes, he has his kind of dark past, but he is now again proving that he is a super legitimate manager.
Yeah,
you're taking a team that I don't think no one was paying attention to this regular season because they literally were just kind of like this. Like
they also beat up on the Mariners, and I was like, why is this happening?
Well, they were just a linear they
beat up on a lot of good teams.
They were just kind of there. They were just always there. They never were under 500. They were just kind of there. And then they snuck in at the very end, and it's like this manager.
We're starting to see it.
Yeah, he's taken this team that other great managers that has tried to take control of this ball club have not been able to do. I think he's been there for what 2 or 3 years now. It's been a couple years.
Might be.
This is not his first year.
No.
Hinch.
AJ.
Well, as soon as he served, it was
1 year ban in 2020, I think, and then
correct,
and then it was
so the year after.
So it's been 3 years. This is his third year.
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah, so this is his third full year. So, like, I'm not. He's a great manager, and I think it's a fun story. I also think the fact that Detroit stole one in Cleveland, Detroit is.
And the way they did,
they are itching for anything. That's a big enough sports town that like the Lions are finally doing solid.
Michigan just won.
Yeah, Michigan just won a national. Like this city is ready to.
Pistons still suck.
They're ready to explode for sports. So I think. That when they get back to Detroit, what is it? Tomorrow,
it's going to be huge.
It's going to be just a party. And I think Cleveland is not quite. I think Cleveland needed it to go into it 2-0 because I think, like you've said, Nick, multiple times, Detroit's hot and this city is going to be hard.
It might be good for Cleveland because they've been known as. I mean, but if you think about a different perspective, they've been known as a good team the whole year, but now they're just getting crushed by someone they had no one expected to, and maybe it lights a fire under them, and they need to realize that they are a good team. And they can't let a team that got hot, ruin their entire season.
They also won 7-0 the first game, and then they got. I wouldn't say they got. Their wind is so far out of their sail from that home run to where it's like this bounce back is going to be so hard.
It's going to be huge to see how Clase plays too, because if he lets that home run affect the rest of the postseason, it's going to be huge because they're going to.
I think the travel day is going to be The travel day is going to be nice for them to kind of reset.
Sure. Yeah.
Get their minds off of it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's going to be a really good series. But the other series, I hate to talk about, are we going to spoil what's going live? Because I just watched Michael King get taken deep in the first inning.
He did just get home run, just go off.
No. That's not what we want. Not at all. No. I don't like the Dodgers.
We'll go. We can go to the. Well, no, let's leave them for last because that series has been the best. Go to the Royals and Yankees really quick because the Dodgers and San Diego series. No offense to any other series, has been the best so far.
It's been exciting.
It's been
very spicy.
Very spicy. So the Royals, obviously, Nick, you are a Yankees fan. You won one.
Honestly, game one went to the Yankees bullpen in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
It wasn't.
Game
both
one
starters
went
were very
to luck.
good.
We didn't deserve to win.
I'm glad you said that because I was gonna say the same thing. The Royals should be up 2-0 in my opinion.
That game was the epitome of what we've been all year, and then game two showed it. Mm-hmm. It showed it even more. We can't get a hit with a runner in a position
Stanton
where it'll put us in top, or to forget about the pitching woes. Forget about the pitching woes. Our offense should be able to put up 5 runs.
Easily.
5 runs wins the game last night. Game last night, the final was 4-2.
Yep.
5 runs wins the game.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And you should be able to do it like you said.
It's that simple.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that
You
hard.
had how many walks? You had how many guys get on base? Mm-hmm. It's just situational hitting, and it's a lack thereof.
100%. Yeah, no, I agree with you. And like your big question obviously was, can you get pitching? Your starter, what was it? Was Rodon.
Rodon, yeah. Came out the gates too hot.
He was not.
He was ready to go.
Yeah, he was too fired up. Ready.
Oh my gosh!
And he got lit up. And then after that, you guys were. It was literally those 3 innings that he pitched is what killed you. Those first couple innings because he gave up technically all 4, I believe. And then after that, the stadium kind of got everything just cooled down. The Kansas City pitching was just kind of there everywhere from the starter to the
pitching is very.
It was
good.
Their
pitching is very.
Yeah,
good.
It was just boring, good pitching. Like there was no. It wasn't fancy. There was no good move. It was just. Like you said, you guys just got to hit. The Yankees have to hit, and they're like you said, your roster needs to be able to put up more than 2 runs every game.
I think the one thing with the Royals I really liked, we talked about it. I don't know, probably like 5 or 6 episodes, probably longer than that. Was their late season ads in guys like Tommy Pham and Yuli Gurriel.
100%. Great pickups.
Not that Tommy Pham has been known to be in the postseason a lot by any means. I'm sure he has. But that veteran presence, especially Yuri Gurriel, being on teams like the Astros is huge for the Royals because that adds to like what we've already talked about, Salvador Perez.
Bam was on that Diamondbacks team.
Okay, he was. I wasn't sure. So he's been there.
Purple hair.
Yeah. But I think that's something that kind of gets overshadowed when they're maybe not like their best player by any means on the team like the Royals, but that leadership in the playoffs is huge. So that's kind of cool that those moves actually are paying off because something you would have thought like an August pickup, what is that really going to do for you? Sure. Which is kind of weird. Anyways, it doesn't happen a lot, but.
Yeah, Fam's not one of my favorites, but I will give him that, and that he's been on a lot of playoff teams. I want to say he was with the Giants and the Rays also when they were in the playoffs. And
I think the Cardinals once or twice, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. He's been everywhere.
I think you're right, yes.
He was on the Cardinals, too.
He's another one of those guys that, like, it's like if you talk about old school guys like Ben Zobrist.
100%. We were just talking about that.
Jason Hayward is another current guy right now.
We were just talking about these people.
Just like they had a knack for finding themselves onto playoff teams.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and it's interesting too because like Bobby Witt has not been.
He's been awful.
Awful.
Defensively, he's been amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say hitting wise, he's been really bad. Yeah. Defensively, he's been. You can't get the ball by him if it's anywhere near him. But that's like where Gurriel has stepped. Yeah, okay, relax. 1% of everything, Nick. You get one chance. But Gurriel has been
one of our
one
four runs that we've scored in this series.
One of the only few ones. But I agree with that. I think that you do overlook that where you have Perez and Gurriel batting like 4 and 5, and that's a tough 4 or 5 couple. They're just veterans. They grind out at bats. They know how to hit. They're just good hitters. I think if Bobby Witt gets a spark,
he needs something so bad.
You got I truly think the Yankees are in big trouble if he can get his average and start hitting like 300 or whatever he's kind of hit all season, 275. The Yankees need to really step up and figure things out because like Juan Soto's been super good. Aaron Judge has been
awful.
Yeah, I was gonna say Aaron Judge and Phil was the one that said that. Phil was like he has to show up.
He needs it.
He's and like Ohtani has showed up. We talked about him. Like he needs to.
He had a horrible game too.
Okay, but
game
like
0 for 4.
He literally won the entire game himself.
It was pretty cool.
And so, like, Aaron Judge has to step up. Like, if he wants to be considered a Hall of Famer, surefire, all these things that he has these accolades with him, he has to show up in the playoffs. And so far, he is not.
Is when you need to shine.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I did look back to, and I was listening to some other like Yankees stuff, and obviously, me being my fan, he was okay the first couple years. He had his first couple of years in the playoffs back in 17 and 19 when we had the run and we lost to the Cheaters. But then he's kind of just fallen off since and been what he is this year. The last 2 or 3 times in.
Yeah.
And and that's why I didn't take him because I didn't want to let myself down, and I saw that coming, and I just knew that Juan Soto is that guy.
He's been there and
so
I picked him, and that's why I believe he's worth everything that we've said about him money-wise.
100%.
And everyone's saying about Judge, like, every Yankee needs to be able. It's what you're known for is what you're known for in October, and unfortunately, that's not what's happening with Judge.
Yeah,
he's the one outlier where I can kind of look past it, but we got to figure it out. I can't look past it for much longer if we can't put a ring on it.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is the Yankees, like certain teams with you have a lot of teams even in like every sport. You're judged on like literally people will forget about Aaron Judge real fast if he doesn't win a ring. Like that's the Yankees. Like you need to either win 10 MVPs.
I mean, that's a knock against Ken Griffey.
I don't know if you can see me. I love him. I'm holding it up right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's one of those things where he has to show up. He's batting 143 in the series so far.
Not great.
He's like 1 for 9 or something like that. I don't know what it is exactly.
Hey man, I had him going to the World Series, so I need to pick this up.
He hasn't been good. Stanton hasn't been good. Not that he's been like amazing all year, but there's just players on the Yankees that, like you said, Nick, they have to step up. Otherwise, they will lose this series quick. And I think the Royals are hungry. They're going to Kansas City. We all know how loud and obnoxious Kansas City can get with the Chiefs and with just the
success.
I'm concerned
with this with the success that they've had with football in that city, just just so ready to blow up.
Forget football.
Yeah. Well, but I'm just saying,
city showed it with the Royals back in
when they won it.
When they won it back in, what was it, 2015?
I think it was 2015.
15 or 16, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, right around then. I was a big
100%.
fan of that team with Hosmer and Moustakis.
It was just fun. They were the
Alex
underdogs.
Gordon.
Underdogs.
Yeah, and
100%.
I think Witt going home could flip that switch that you were mentioning, like referencing to, like that could be the flip there. Or what I would love to see, and baseball would hate to see, maybe Witt is just like Judge, and
100%.
And there's a couple of O's like that too, and maybe they're in that conversation. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how the rest of it plays out and the rest of their careers
and
play
I
out.
think
Witt at least is super young. Judge should have some more postseason
and
ahead of him, even if it not be this year.
Yeah, and that's where Sam had a good point where he was like, name someone on Detroit. Like, yes, you can name the names, but it's like none of these guys have this kind of pressure to perform to where it's like Bobby Witt, you're expecting him to hit 300 plus. Aaron Judge should have 7 home runs by now. Like, these guys are supposed to be doing this, and they have this type of pressure where some people crumble under it. And then you have teams like we talked about, like, who's Carpenter?
Yeah.
Who's this guy? And he just is like, I can go up there lax. You know, I can do whatever. I can just sway with it. I can have some fun, and boom.
Postseason baseball is a different breed. That's the thing that's crazy. It's the same game, but it's not. That's what's so much fun to watch, is you see teams like the Tigers
100%
beat a very talented Astros team.
Yeah. 100%.
And they handled them.
100%.
That's what's crazy. And I mean, still, I mean, it's 1-1 with the Guardians, but same thing. It's a very talented Guardians team, and they found a way to win. Yes, they got crushed game 1, but they came back and beat the best closer in the game. So, thanks for listening to the Kinda Athletic podcast. Please like and subscribe to all our social media platforms, and make sure to come back next week to hear more from the Kinda Athletic podcast.